But I have a question regarding like getting a job, I guess, because I didn't graduate as a comm student. I graduated as a music student, but I was still interested in jobs in this field and like HR and et cetera. And I was just wondering if like having this major is gonna kind of block me because I see so many of these applications saying that we like really want a communications, journalism, like marketing, et cetera, like kind of major to come in here and experience with that. So from my experience, kind of understanding this and taking some of the intro classes to communications, how can I kind of go about like getting these jobs or getting an interview?
Yeah, so a couple things you can always list on your resume at the bottom under your education, the communication classes you have. What that does to help you is that often when recruiters are looking for resumes, they're running keyword searches, which means by having your communications classes on your resume, you will pop up in their keyword search. That at least gets you into the stack of resumes that gets read. So that's number one. The next thing is there is a trend that companies, as basically the demand for talent is outpacing in several areas: computer science, probably communication at this point. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. The demand is outpacing the supply of talent coming out of school with those degrees. And so you are seeing companies get more and more flexible about degrees, types of degrees. And so what I would say is your job becomes, how do you just get them to notice your resume? Might be as easy as putting those comm classes on there. How do you demonstrate any sort of experience you have that shows some sort of connection to HR? So, kind of what we talked about before. Did you, help train the new people, for example, at your job? That would be an example of that. And so I think that's another one. And then having conversations with people. We didn't go deep on networking, and I know we have in other forums with the council, but every person you talk to is a possibility, and they may not be the one that has the job. But at the end of every conversation, you say, who would you recommend I talk to? And one of those times it's going to be somebody that gives you a job. And so if you keep having conversations with people in the HR field, you will start to build a network of people that get to know you, and then the degree will become less important in terms of what it is.
I guess a question on top of that, how can I properly find like more experience or something to be more prepared for these kinds of jobs? Because it seems like that's also another thing that I love to do, but it seems like it's kind of like out of reach, or I don't like kind of understand where to start, I guess.
When I used to work career fairs a long time ago, I'd get this a lot. It's like, I need experience in order to get a job, but I can't get a job because I don't have experience. It's really common. Here's the thing, all experience counts, right? I wrote my 16-year-old son's resume about 4 months ago with him, and it was things like pet sitting and doing yard work for neighbors. It all becomes in how you demonstrate the transferable nature of your skills. And so the job doesn't have to be the perfect HR job in order to show experience. What instead you do is explain to them how it's relevant. So, hey, for my 16-year-old son, it's the silliest example. It's the one that came to mind. Like, having to do pet sitting, people had to trust him to show up when they weren't there, and he showed responsibility, right? To do yard work, he had to be not afraid of hard work. He had to be there really early in the morning, and he had to be there till the job was done, and typically the homeowner wasn't around to supervise it. And so things like that. Now, those are really silly examples compared to some of the things you guys will be putting on your resume, but don't discount any work experience you have as not being valuable.